Hey everybody, Joe Muck here with Muck Realty, and of course, Keller Williams Advantage here in Novi. And today I brought to you a video or a blog post, and now I'm putting it to video for you of the top 5 things that really all buyers, but first-time home buyers especially, really need to be looking out for. Talked to a recent first-time home buyer and helped compile this list. And really, I took some of the data from that person as well as some others and put it all together, put it together here for you. Blog post is out there if you want to read it. Video now if you want to hear it. Let's go. Number 1. These are top 5 things that they wish they would have done. Number 1 is take your time finding and talking to your lender. Now, realtors generally have lots of referrals, and lenders are number 1 probably, because we have some great experience with people that we've worked with on a closing, and we work with those people more and more and more as often as possible. We might have 2, we might have 3, we might have 50, but whatever we have is always people that we've actually worked with. So we have great referrals, but what we see happening a lot, of course, is that there's an app and you can download the app and you use the app and you get your pre-approval and you want to text or send a message or email, and you never really have a conversation with the lender. You don't learn a lot about some of the programs that are actually out there. The lender doesn't have a chance to become an advisor to you to help you with your best financial picture, and then you end up in a mortgage that it's good, but it's not great. If you actually take some time and talk with the lender, and this holds true whether it's a referral or not, talk with the person, let them know what your real goals are. We all say our goal is our lowest interest rate possible, or our goal is the least amount of money possible, but why is that your goal? If that's your goal because you're going to be in this home for at least 10 to 15 years, and of course interest rates are fairly low right now, so you don't want to even think about refinancing, that's a whole different conversation than you plan on moving in 5 years and you want to maximize equity in the home so that way you can go ahead and cash out tons and tons of money when you go to put down on your home that you want to buy in 5 years. So very different programs that you may qualify for when you talk to the lender. Different costs, different programs, all kinds of different stuff. So take your time. By all means, use the technology that's available to you. Use the apps and use the online messengers and all these things. But take some time and actually speak with your lender. Number 2 thing that I was told a first-time home buyer wishes they had known more about is, let's say, budget for unexpected costs. I'm sorry that my writing is atrocious. Not much I can do about that. But the unexpected costs, a lot of people don't think about what might happen. New construction, window treatments, landscaping, maybe sprinklers, sealing some of the things that are there, like garage floors or basement floors or the granite. Some of that stuff's not done for you. Paper towel holders, toilet paper holders. All these things don't necessarily come in a new construction home. Existing construction, there's maybe a clogged drain, or maybe the hot water tank is about 10 to 12 years old, and your expectation is 12 to 15 years, so we're nearing the life expectancy, and sure enough, you close, and 3 days later, you're spending $800. Think about unexpected costs. Now, we don't know how to budget for unexpected in the terms of like, well, should I have $5,000 or $50,000? But what we know is have some money available, have some open lines of credit that you can actually pay off available. Make sure that when you close on September 1st, that if September 2nd something happens, you're able to take care of it. Budget for unexpected costs. Number 3 is there really is no such thing as a perfect home. Have your lists of do's and don'ts or needs and wants, if you have kids or you've worked with kids at all, you ask them, is this a want or a need? Is it a must-have thing? And it's really no different when it comes to home buying. You have your few things that you must have. Maybe it's a three-car garage. Maybe it's just a garage. Maybe you must have a basement. Maybe you must not have a basement. There's a few things that have to be there. You can't close on a house unless it's there. Then there's the wants. And you want to be able to make sure you've checked off the 3 or 5 things that are musts. And you want to check off a couple of the wants. But the home is not going to be perfect. Even if you had all the money in the world and you could build the perfect home, you probably could, and it would probably take you a few years. Because as you're starting to build the home, you might realize, well, I got all the money in the world. Let me have some extra extensions for electrical outlets somewhere. Or let me have something else that you just never see unless you have this unlimited funds. Since most of us, and I think everybody watching this video, have limited funds, you're not going to find the perfect home, and that's okay. So have your do's and don'ts, or your needs and wants, or whatever it is you want to call them. Have your list. Make sure it's checked those main boxes. Get a couple of the other boxes, and let's move along. It's it's going to be your home for a long time. You have a chance to make it even better once you moved in. And number 4 in the top 5 things that first-time home buyers really are looking for and wish that they knew more about before is their return on investment, the ROI. Especially when you're a first-time home buyer, you're not always thinking about this. But the fact of the matter is that it's probably the most important thing. Are you moving into a home that, as you maybe change around some bathrooms and some kitchens over time, that's going to, really help out the resale value of the home? Are you moving into a home that, is very antiquated or is completely up to date? And so if you move in a couple of years, you don't need to do anything. All these things, play a factor in the price today, and they're going to play a factor in the price in the future. And so if you're not thinking about the ROI, you might want to start thinking about it. Have your realtor work with you on comps for homes that are like this one and for homes that are like the one that you want to have. In other words, once you've moved in, even if it was, almost perfect, a little bit opposite of what we said here at number 3, but, almost perfect, you're going to have some changes that you're going to make. Let's make sure that those changes actually give you value. You don't want to drop $10,000 or $20,000 into a house unless you have to. I mean, replacing the furnace doesn't give you a ton of value, but you got to have a furnace. The point of the matter is that if you have options here, let's make sure that they're the right options. Think about the ROI today. Work with your agent for your ROI in the future. And number 5, top 5 things first-time home buyers wish that they knew about before buying a home. And again, this applies to everybody, but pay attention to your home inspection. These home inspections take a couple hours, they're a few $100, and they're gold. And I don't know if you can get gold for a few $100, but I do know that you are getting gold, maybe even platinum, for a few $100 when you get your home inspection. What I mean by that is, of course, we think about the inspection as that thing to let us know that the house is a good one to buy, or what types of issues we might have so the seller can fix them or maybe give us a credit for them. All those types of things. We think about that. We all know about that. That's what we're knowing. But what about the real meat and potatoes of the home inspection? What I mean by that is, in there, your home inspector probably said something about what the grade of the home is. In other words, what the angle is of the outside that's coming into the home. It shouldn't be going this way. It should be going this way. In other words, so when the water comes down the home, it goes off. So if your grade is like this and it comes down the home and it sits and pools here, and you start filling it in with water, you're going to actually start affecting the foundation of your home. You wonder why people around here are having basement issues. Well, it's because their grade is not very good. We talk about those types of things in the home inspection. It's all right in there. That's why I call it the meat and potatoes. Because, when you walk into the restaurant, the fancy stuff catches your eye, but the meat and potatoes is what fills the belly, right? So the fancy stuff is the big things that we had to ask about on the offer. offer, or the addendum to the offer, really. But the meat and potatoes are what's filling you up and keeping you satisfied once you're in the home. These pages or these reports are generally 30 to 50 pages long. I don't think I've ever seen a full inspection under about 28 pages. So you got those couple of pages that were things that we had to do before buying. The rest of them are there for the future. Those are the pages that you want to pull out 2-3 weeks after you closed, read through them, understand them, ask questions if you need to, and make your home an even better home by doing some of the little maintenance things that were pointed out in your home inspection. Folks, I've said it a few times, top 5 things. Take your time with your lender. Actually take some time finding one, even if it's a referral. Take some time with that. And then take your time talking to your lender, because that's what's going to really help you understand a little bit more about your home. I'm going to move this a little bit closer for us here, and we'll move it that way. Number 2, budget for unexpected costs. Okay, when you close on the home, there's going to be costs associated after the fact. Make sure you haven't dropped every single penny qualifying and moving in. Have some dollars left over after the fact so you can take care of them. Number 3, to remember, there's no such thing as a perfect home. You're going to have a great house. You want it to be great, but make sure it checks the needs and then the wants, and be happy with those needs, because that is what's going to be the foundation for you and your future. Number 4 is the ROI. That return on investment is really invaluable. Work on it up front, work on it throughout time. Continue talking to your agent over time, letting them know what you are doing to the home, because at any given time you might have to sell. And if you've dropped $20,000 on things that aren't increasing the value, you're going to be awfully mad when you're selling the home for just barely more than you bought it for a couple of years ago. And number 5, and I almost think this should be number 1, your home inspection. We know the value that it plays in making sure the home is a good one to actually buy. Let's use the value that's there to stay in the home and make it a great place, to make your home almost perfect. Folks, this is just one more edition of Muck Market Minutes. I'm glad that you took the time out of your day to watch the whole thing. I appreciate that. I hope it brings you the value that I think it's bringing you. If you don't have time to read blog posts, maybe you have time to check out videos, things like that. Always happy to help. Any questions that you might have, anything that you want me to cover in a future video, please let me know. 313-283-4740. Good way to call or text. Drop a private message or direct message via Facebook or Instagram. I'm on both of them, Joe Muck Realty. And of course, you can always email me, joe@muckmovesy.com. Thanks again, everybody. Please have a terrific rest of your day.